What is up, y'all? Welcome back to Responsibly Unhinged. It's your hosts, Kylie Kaiser.
And Quinn Collins.
We are here with another very special guest. It's a double Kylie feature.
Absolutely. Kylie Troop. Hey.
What is up?
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Welcome.
I feel like we should have been in the same room more often.
That's true.
You know?
It's true.
Yeah.
We've been pushing that. Actually, Quinn will love this. We tried to pitch Pat. We talk shit about Pat Dean on here lovingly all the time. We tried to pitch him on a Kylie show at the Valve, like when they did the Sam one, and he was like, "It would just be you two." And we were like, "Yeah, we can do some guest spots from Kyle's."
I swear to God, there's another. I was about to say Kyle's, but I feel like there's one more Kylie.
I don't think so.
I don't think doing stand up, but
Maybe
we
not.
could just find one on the street. I got stuck. I live in Hyde Park, and the other night when the storm was hitting, there's this train tracks I have to cross to get home. There's no other way home, and all of the gates were down, all the lights flashing, and I was stuck there for like 30 minutes. So I called 313, and they were like, "Yeah, we're sending maintenance guys. It's probably gonna be like an hour." And wait, why did I start this story? Fuck.
Me as fuck.
I did it for a reason.
We have ADD. I just got distracted because your scrunchie matches your tank top so well.
I'm a matchy bitch.
I love it. I was like, I don't even. It's fine if you lost your train of thought because I was distracted by that.
Yeah. Well, who cares?
Anyways, yeah.
We come to you in the middle of
It
another
is. His
story.
Just dumb bitches.
But yeah, we were telling Pat that and he's like, "What? It's just you and Kylie doing 45 minutes?" And I was like, "What's wrong with that?"
Yeah.
And then we were like the last two that went. We were like 2 out of the 3 people they booked for this show we did Saturday. And I sent the picture we took of me and Kylie at the stage to Pat. We sent it in a group chat, and he just said this. He's like, "This is fucked up."
I've been set up.
Yeah, I said this could have been you. This could have been the Valve,
He
but
missed
instead
out.
we're in New Braunfels.
Yeah. Oh, I remembered the 313 girl was like, "Hi, I'm Kylie," and I was like, "Oh, bitch." So we do have another. We could
We
put a
can
show
recruit
together.
her. Yeah,
Put her
can-
on
she
stage.
She can do 5.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's fine. With that job, she probably has 5 minutes.
I know. Just sharing crazy stories of people calling in. Yeah.
Yeah. But we did a little Kylie feature at New Braunfels at Tom's Comedy Club, which is a great room. Great room.
It's beautiful.
It's
Brick
beautiful.
wall,
Beautiful.
cool
Great.
sign.
Also, shout out to their film guy. Did you get the clips? I was like,
Yes.
really bummed that the show went that way because I was like, that's the most like they sent like 3 different
Professional.
fucking like the clips are so good, like quality, and they have like so many angles you can clip up. Like they even
And the
got audience.
Yeah.
I was like, this is awesome, and I will use probably none of it.
Yeah.
Because we did a show, half the room was Mormon teenagers. Most of the room was under 21, half of them virgins.
Mm-hmm.
There was
But Mormon
soaking.
virgins, so special. Yeah,
Mormon.
I asked if they soaked. They were like, no one really does that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well,
They're lying. Their
we had-
parents. They're scared. They see they're on tape.
we had nothing to work with in there. Like Kylie made it. Kylie actually, like you were just like, I don't think you guys understand how hard this is for us. Like,
Yeah.
like we usually try to find a common ground with a room, and there's nothing to do in here.
Yeah.
Like for the first half of the show before we went up, there was an 8-year-old in there.
Excuse me.
It was bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
The other group was like a group celebrating their 50th birthday that were all definitely MAGA.
100%.
Sammy like posted a clip. That girl's actually 10.
Yeah, she was like 8 or 10. Yeah.
I didn't see their clip yet. Yeah.
And their parents called her sassy, and they were like, totally fine. Talk about whatever you want to in front of her. And I was like, all right.
I'm kind of mad they were gone before I left because I really wanted to be like, oh my God, my parents used to take me to stuff like this too. And now listen to me.
Yeah. This is going to be you.
Yeah, this is going to be you. Like, it was bizarre. It was still fun. Like, I had a good time. But Kylie's like in the middle of one of her jokes at one point to people. And she was just like, also, you're really fucking ruining my joke right now.
Yeah.
Like, this couple just started talking while she's in the middle of this like monologue. And she was just like, this is really killing the vibe.
I do a really fun act out of my asshole talking to my vagina, and we were mid act out, and they were just having a little conversation, and I was like, "Isn't this important?" Like,
I had a dream. I crashed out on a crowd a couple
You
nights
have
ago,
to
which
do
I
it
never
sometimes.
would. But
Sometimes you have to.
have you never?
I've never had a crash. Well, I did at our show.
Yeah.
But it was called Unhinged, so
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it wasn't like bad. I always said was, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Did the beginning of my sentence interrupt the middle of yours while I'm on stage? I'm sorry."
I've called out people who have been like, they hate it when you do that. And you're like, what are you guys talking about? 'Cause I'm like, obviously it's important.
I actually had the worst.
Full professor style.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think the worst audience interaction I've had since I started comedy, and I'm not proud of it, but I was doing sick joke on Monday, and there was a woman in the front that was like so fucking talkative. And so then the comic before me was talking to her, and he's like, how many kids do you have? And she's like, 2, but one's dead. Uh-huh. And so that comic moves on. She's during my set just like totally disrupting the show. And at one point I was like, I don't know what to say to you to shut up. I bet your kid's glad he's dead. And the whole room was like, oh. oh. And I was like,
Oh.
it's a sick joke. I don't know what you want from me. And then they
Yeah.
left. And apparently she was like crying. And I feel like a bitch.
There's actually, this is gonna make you feel worse, but there's a really viral sweet clip of this weird thing like that happened with Adam Ray. Have you ever seen that?
Oh, I know
And
exactly which one you're talking
It turned
about.
out awesome. He made it really cute.
Yeah.
But like I was like that like could have like he like that could have been so derailing, and like the way he did with that was adorable. But it started out, he kind of was like dark about it to start too, but then he like turned it to make it fun, and they were like good. But yeah, I don't really
She was drunk as hell. I don't think there was any turning it.
No, that's what I
And
mean. You probably couldn't come back from that regardless.
They after the show, the producers were like, "You should come back next week because that wasn't your fault, and thank
Yeah.
you for getting rid of her." But I was
Yeah.
just like, I probably could have done it better.
yeah.
Coulda, shoulda.
Yeah.
It's the name of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Who
Yeah.
gives a fuck?
That's what I'm saying. Also, when I'm like, you guys come in here, I had this experience, and actually, this was bizarre. This is a fun related to the podcast theme. So when I lived in Nashville, there was this man that bartended at this bar that I used to like I've never been there not blacked out. It was just kind of that place. And I admittedly like threw myself at this bartender often. Like I thought he was
Just like
so hot.
across
Yeah,
the
like
bar.
and I got a lot of free tabs. Thank you. But like he was definitely just like entertaining me. It was like where you could tell it's like, oh, the stripper really likes me kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Like it was like I was like, he's flirting with me. And because I would tip him fat, obviously, for comping my tab. But it like we had some mutual friends, and like that because I had a lot of friends in the service industry there even when I wasn't. So like I kind of knew of him. I have not seen this man since I left Nashville years ago. I like forgot about him. We follow each other on Instagram, whatever. He's at my show Thursday night in Nashville, and he was like, Kylie, like, which I guess he had come into one of my friend's bars that was coming to the show, and she was like, oh, Kylie's in town, we're going to her show. And he was like, oh, I've been keeping up with her stand-up, I'd love to go. But he was there on a first date at the bar and brought her, and I'm like, that's a bad idea.
How
Like,
dare you?
well, it's like you're also like, I don't care about that. It's just like you are wanting to talk on a first date. So they sat there, and then it looked like I obviously like hugged him and greeted him when they came in, and it was fine. I told my boyfriend, I was just like, there's a bar situation. I used to try to fuck that guy. He's here. That's weird. And you know, I'm as open with my relationship as I am on this podcast, unfortunately. But I was like, this is crazy.
Wait, on stage or
no,
okay.
I just told him. I was like,
wish
you
you
want to hear
had,
something hilarious?
but yes.
I know. Well, I actually wish I didn't have the chance because they kept fucking yapping, and then I felt bad because it looked like they were like there as friends of mine, and all the comedians were like getting pissed, like because it's a small like little dive. It's like called the Dive Motel. Shout out Courtney Warner in Nashville. It's a great little fun show, but it's like this tiny little venue where there's not a lot of people, and it's like if two people are talking, it's the whole ruins the whole vibe.
Yeah.
And they were just like having their whole fucking first date chats the whole time. And I guess all the other comedians started like saying something. Like Courtney went up there and was like, hey, I know you guys are just here to see Kylie, because I was like going at the end. They're like, but like everybody else here has a job to do too. And so then I felt so bad.
Yeah.
Like when I was like, hey, I want to be really clear, we're not like friends. Like I didn't invite him here. And she was like, oh, I'm not mad at you. I was trying to be playful, like, and just be like, hey.
Yeah.
And then they just were not getting it. Like all the comedians kept making jokes about people talking, and that's how much they were talking. They were oblivious.
Yeah.
And then they ended up like going on some kind of like, one of the girls ended up talking about like Trump stuff, and they ended up getting like super pissy, and then they're like we voted for Trump, and like East Nashville is like even more than like that's more off
They
limits
sound
than
like
East
a
Austin.
delight. Yeah.
It was rough, like, and so this hilarious like black female comic there, CJ, she's incredible, but she was just like went off and like walked to them, and she's like, first of all, you have the balls to be saying that out loud in East Nashville, and then you're still not going to shut the fuck up with this truck. And she just goes, you didn't have to tell us who you voted for, we can tell because you don't care about anybody else in the room. Which
Jesus.
was hilarious. And she walked, they like finally left and got it. So before I even went up there, and I was just like, I feel so bad, like
I don't
but
know.
It wasn't really my fault. I was like, to be fair, I like literally forgot this guy existed, but I was bizarre when he was in there. I was like, ugh.
It's insane how many things you have to think of as a comic, like in
Yeah.
different rooms every night. Like you just like never know what you're gonna be faced with. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
the worst when it's people that are there for you that are being
I know.
nightmares.
I had to have this talk with one of my beloved friends, and I won't name him because he's still mortified, but we were on the phone with him on the way here.
Oh yeah.
he was like, I knew this. I don't think he had went to sleep, like kind of, he had drunk all night and like was drinking all day, and they wanted to come. It was just like the Narbar show. It wasn't that big of a deal, but like he was just too drunk, and he just kept wanting to yap, like during, like not to like to each other, but he was like just kept interacting with the comics where it's like he's having a good time. And honestly, at that kind of show, it was like kind of fine, but it was the same thing. Like I had to pull him aside after, and I was like, hey, I'm not mad, but like I know this is like a weird bar thing, but I was like, a lot of people that like also book shows are here, and if it looks like this is the kind of people that come when I'm on the show, that doesn't really go very well for me. And he was just like, he felt awful. Like to this day, he's come to any show since, and he just sits there like so polite.
Doesn't
like,
even laugh.
He like almost started crying. Like he's the sweetest. So like I felt really bad because I knew he was just like having a good time. But it was just he was doing that thing where he just thought anything he said back was gonna be funnier than whatever they had to say. Yeah. Which he is funny.
He is funny. But that also just happens. There's other people that we know that do it serially. Yeah. That he's on multiple people's viral clips.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Like he's like
a viral heckler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's almost impressive if it wasn't so like, please don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
It's
never
not the
know.
bar flex you think it is to be like, yeah, I'm on this, and it's the same comedian.
Oh yeah.
So I'm always like, don't show people that.
Yeah, you don't have to do that. I
Keep
feel
that to
like we started talking about stand up without really even giving that preface,
context.
The context,
Oh, yeah.
which most of our guests have been comedians, but not always. So you want to tell them a little bit about yourself?
Yeah.
Where you come from? Who are you?
God, I'm still looking for the answer to the second question.
Feel that.
Yeah, I was born in Denver, Colorado, or Aurora area, and then moved to Maryland with my family when I was like 10, and I was there for most of my life. Lived in Texas for a little bit, then San Diego, and then out here. And San Diego is where I started stand up during the pandemic because I was a depressed little girl and needed to laugh. So I started doing like Zoom mics.
But I've heard about
5
this.
years.
Yeah, 5 years.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, because Kylie gave me a really sweet compliment after the show, and then I was like, that actually means a lot because when she was on stage, I like told my boyfriend, I was like, I love when you can just like tell that someone's been doing it a long time. Like they're just like on stage, like it's like very obvious to me. And I was like, when Kylie complimented me, I felt so good about it. Cause I was like, you can just tell you've been a comedian a long time, which 5 years is still a long time.
Yeah.
But I meant that. I was like, I thought you'd been doing it way longer than that.
Oh yeah. I mean, I guess technically I did like a mic in 2019, but I kind of don't count it because my boyfriend at the time came with me, and I just remember the car ride home being like exhilarated and being like, so how was it? And he was just like, I just like don't think you're funny in that kind of way.
Oh, same.
Yeah. So boy, bye.
He was jealous.
Yeah, he was jealous.
He was jealous.
I don't think so. I think I was just truly awful. But
well, it's your first one. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, then I was like, just during the pandemic, trying to finish up my master's, and like, God, I was so over it, and was looking for any excuse to do anything else. And I found like a Discord where comedians were like writing jokes every day. So I started doing that. Yeah.
I've heard a lot of lore about these Zoom mics. It sounds like a crazy time.
Oh my God. They were a nightmare.
And it was because people wouldn't mute their fucking camera.
Yeah.
And like one of them I was in, this guy was like heckling, and he was like, we should be getting better at that too while we're at it. And I was like, oh, okay, Rain Man, I don't want to do that. And then the guy that was running it, like, God muted everybody, but then he would actually mute the person that was in the middle of talking. So, and then like they wouldn't even realize, and they'd be like, oh, can you start that one joke over? I'm like, that was the punchline.
Yeah.
I can see where that could be a mess though, because it's like if everyone's muted, then you're not hearing any of your laughs.
Oh,
so that's
you don't
weird.
get any feedback.
But if there's like no mute, then everyone's background shit's going on. Like, yeah, that sounds like a shit show.
Yeah. As soon as I matched with a guy on Hinge that was doing stand up in San Diego, and he was like, oh, there's mics going on. And so I started going out with him to these mics, and I think he just thought I was going to go support him. But I actually like got on stage, and then he was like, actually, I don't think it's working.
Classic.
Yeah.
He's jealous of you.
Yeah. Again.
I can't blame him. Would you want to date an open micer? Do you know what I mean?
And he was an open micer?
He was like a little past that. Like he'd done some shows, and then everything locked down.
He did 6 bar shows and was like, I'm sorry, bababy, but you don't know fame
We're
like
just
this.
on different levels.
Once you get a taste of success, like a bar show with 8 people, you know, you can't be messing with these open micers.
You haven't done the Chili's, Mike, so it's not really. That's great.
I heard that they had a Hooters mic around here.
They did, and they didn't.
Oof.
It was one of those
That's your bread and butter. That's your
I know you're
shine.
literally wearing
But
your
apparently
uniform.
they like got in trouble because, believe it or not, this is alleged, but apparently they were being way too. They were getting hammered and being creepy to the fucking girls.
What a shock that is.
I know.
Really?
I know
Wow.
shit would have crushed there.
The open mic comedians.
creepy.
I've got a literal tight 5 about Hooters. I would have crushed.
I was to say, I was like, that was made for you. You should just restart it.
Yeah. Hey, girls.
Just start a show. Yeah.
Hey, girlies. I'm going to restart the show. And if anyone's creepy to you, I'll beat the shit out of them myself.
With your
Yeah.
big ass titties.
Yeah.
Or I have the power to expose the girl that they don't claim that claims them. I'll go online and say, and post your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So don't fuck with me.
Don't fuck with me.
It's
That is
always
a
a
threat.
girl that's so much hotter.
Turn your
Yeah.
situationship into a situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
But no, that's the craziest thing to me is like these guys in the scene that are like,
Hiding their girlfriends.
and their girlfriends have like tech jobs or they're in marketing. They got like a heavy set on them, like
Definitely bringing in all of the money.
all the money,
Yeah.
adores them. And he's like, yeah, I'm just not ready to settle down. I got this dream.
Doing
Yeah.
dumb bitch jokes on stage. Yeah.
I got this dream going on. They have a joke that's like, well, I'm not gay, but, and then she's just like, I'm like, girl,
That's my boy.
what kind of daddy issues is that?
That's a special kind.
I don't know. Look at me.
I was gonna
Daddy
say I've
issues.
been there. Yeah, it's a special brand. Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah. 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 Little hide the money in the backyard tincture situation.
Yeah, he wasn't even a comedian. That's he thought he could be though, as they all.
Yeah, they all think they can. I literally on my Hinge, on one of my prompts, I put, I don't care that you've thought about doing stand-up comedy.
That's
Yeah.
so smart because like
important.
I'm getting messages from guys that want to start or slash
Yep.
like are open micers and being like, do you want to write together? And it's like fucking stop.
I've been back and forth about like when I had apps still, I was like I had it on there because I was kind of like, okay, I feel like one, this is a big part of what I'm doing clearly in my life, and two, I was like, it is a pain in the ass to date somebody who like has shows popping up and things like that. So I was like, oh, I want to be up front, but then like we talked about it and I was like, I took it off for a while just because all my messages were like that. It was just like fucking Kill Tony super fans.
I
like,
have that I work at a club.
Yeah.
Like a comedy club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like
then
I
they
removed
get to
it.
like, I work for a comedy club, so I don't want to hear your stand-up material.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can then if you actually go on a date and like them, you can be like, oh, I do stand.
I make money to hear people's stand-up material.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Yeah, it was always, and or it's like they message you and they're like, do you get this one? Where they're just like, so like are you funny? Or like, do you think you're funny? And I'm like, no, I just am betting everything and living broke as fuck for fun.
Sometimes
Yeah.
I get like, usually I'm funnier than most of the girls I date, but you might have like give me a
Yeah.
run for my money.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
And it's like, I don't believe you somehow.
And the fact that I
Yes.
think that's gonna work is crazy. Like I'm gonna be like, oh, really? You
Yeah.
think me?
I hate guys always go, you seem like trouble, but one guy goes, you seem like trouble, but I've never been afraid of the law. And I'm like, he's like his name's Hamid, and he's just the dorkiest man I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, says you work for Google Fiber.
Yeah.
I think you are afraid of the law.
Yeah.
Dude,
Take a drug test
we
tomorrow.
did a whole segment on here one time where we just read a bunch of the crazy like DMs or Hinge messages we've gotten, and I was like, we should just do that like quarterly. Especially your following's gotten bigger since then. You get some wild shit in there.
I get the craziest shit I've ever read in my
Yeah.
entire life. Where I'm like, do they? Because
at least they're creative.
my
I don't
following
know.
isn't
Sometimes,
my
yeah.
following isn't big enough for them to not realize that I am a real person.
That you're reading that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. We had, we won't go back to them all, but like she had one that's like this guy sent her a message. What did he say? All I ask is that you don't weigh over 140 pounds.
You own a bidet. Somebody put that on the Facebook dating thing. Too,
Yeah.
That like,
own a
you're
bidet.
under 130, own a bidet,
and you have less than 3 bodies or something.
yeah, less than 3 bodies.
We're like, dream girl.
Yeah.
It's me. Here I am.
When I look at you, Quinn, I'm like, that's you.
It's
yeah.
like all of those rules. Take away the bidet and add everything else by 20, and it's like I'm
Add
your girl.
20.
I'm your girl.
Who's ever mad about an extra 20 of anything, you know?
No, yeah.
Oh my God, do you guys want to hear something embarrassing?
course.
It has to do with body count.
Yeah.
I recently was on a flight. I've been flying a lot, and
Work.
yeah, I work in San Diego still. I also daylight as a biologist, which
Whoa,
is
what the
yeah.
fuck? I think I
meant
knew
like
this and
work.
forgot.
Yeah. Like, no, your
I
work
think
is
I knew this and forgot. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we both have masters, but you are using yours. That's cool.
Kind of still, yes. I'm grateful. It's weird. It's a weird job. I'd gone
That's
to grad school
dope.
and then I was working for the California Department of Fish and Wildlife and kind of hating my life because they make you work like a lot and pay you very little.
Yeah.
And then I was dating a guy who, nightmare of a man, but that's besides the point. He worked at this ranch on the weekends playing guitar on their vineyard.
Of course you did.
And his boss was just like, what does your girlfriend do? And yeah, he introduced us, and then they hired me to like, they have this invasive beetle that's killing their forest, and I go out and survey for it. It's really weird.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking cool though.
It's pretty cool. I don't know. It's nice being outside. It is like really repetitive. Like I just do the same shit
is that
over
the
and
part
over
that's
again.
embarrassing?
Huh?
Is that the part that's embarrassing?
The part that's embarrassing is the man.
Oh, okay, fair.
That was
Oh,
involved.
and then you said something about body count on a flight.
Oh yes, okay, yeah.
Okay. Yes. So I was flying
We
back
do
to
have ADD
San
here.
Diego. I
Like
clearly do. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I haven't checked in a while. Like, I wonder what my body count is. And so I wrote it all out. And this list is like, dude, it's like college guy number 1.
Me and my
like,
roommate did this, and it was a nightmare.
yeah. College guy number 2 in parentheses rape, like question mark, you know?
Yeah.
And then I left that on the flight and never got it back, and so that is just in someone's possession.
I love that they read just the rape question mark. Like they're like, should we call someone?
Nah, I mean, yeah. College was weird for all. I think we were all drunk. It's
Yeah,
like
there
what's
was
really
a
rape at that
situation.
point.
There was a
We've all been
TikTok
there.
trend about this though, where there was like, which it's sad, but it's like I love that there's just like this era of like you have to just like laugh at stuff that's really fucked up, you know, and that's like what's beautiful about comedy in general. But there's like all these girls where it's like people are being like, "What's your body count?" and then you're like, "Consensual or not?" Like it's a different number. Like,
Yeah,
and
that's a
it's
different
like,
number.
and it's like all these men finding it and being like, they can't be serious, and I'm like, we are.
Guys just like truly it's crazy because I feel like there's been so many women that have come forward with stories like this, and yet guys still
They don't get it.
think that that's happening.
No, I had a.
They always say they just regret it. Like that's
Yeah.
so much better.
Yeah.
Right.
I
Or
didn't rape her.
they-
She just regrets sleeping with me.
They
oh,
get
wow.
they get so like they got
That helps
Weird
you sleep
flex,
better.
yeah.
They also get like so caught up on always just being like, well, some of them are lying, and I'm like, yeah, some of them are. The number of that is so small compared to the ones that are not. Like,
Yeah.
and it's just like I was like, that's crazy to me. Like, I don't know. I had this we had this epiphany. I had a guy friend that was like talking about this, and he was kind of on that one. But he's like, well, I have a friend that was wrongly accused, and blah blah. I'm like, well, I have 70 friends that have been actually assaulted. So like, and
Right.
he was sitting though at a table with like multiple girls, and it just like timed out so perfectly, and he was like 2 of our other girlfriends were just walking up and had no contact. They had not heard us. And he was like, well, raise your hand if you've been assaulted and you're sitting here.
Just
and
like every woman.
every girl sitting there. And then the girls walking up only heard that and were like, but I like watched his face genuinely like process it and be like, oh, like, and I was just like, it's the same thing. Like I talked to a guy one time about somebody, I think Austin Young was talking to me about like, oh, getting me to my car, of course, Angel. And one of the other guys was like, didn't you say you only parked a block away? And Austin's like, I'm not going to let her walk by myself and her by herself. And the other guy was like, I walk that walk all the time. And I was like, you're a man. And like, they just like did not get it. And I was like, how is that? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Austin Young watched me get into my Waymo, and he goes, "Are you taking this?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, he like keeps the door open for me, and like he's like, "Do you feel safe?" And I go, "Yeah, there's not a man in here."
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's literally the safest option.
oh yeah, I love the Waymo. Yeah, we're sitting there and I was like, I don't have to worry about you being creepy at all. This is fantastic.
Or talk to anybody.
No, Austin is an angel. There was one time I was trying to get out of we were parked like under the bridge. You know how the cars are so close to each other. And he has a huge truck, and Austin's not a small guy. And so like his car, he's like trying to get through to like my side. And I was like, Austin, what are you doing? He's like, I'm trying to come get your door. And I was like, Austin, I can just get out. It's fine. And he's like, my
gentleman.
mom would slap me across the face if I let you open that door. Do not move. And I was like, okay, Angel.
It's like
shout out.
5 minutes
We
later.
should have Austin on here.
We should have Austin on.
Yeah, we had him on our Unhinged show, and it was he crushed.
They
Yeah,
liked him a
they
lot.
loved
He was a
him.
good
I love
little-
him. So funny, so
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah,
So sweet.
It's the
Yeah.
sweetest. Yeah, we
Cherubic.
Austin Young fan club.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had Brent Reed on here too. We're big Austin. We actually for a while said that me, Quinn, Justine, Austin, and Brent were going to start like a Big Brother house.
Yeah.
I would watch.
Yeah, I just was like, that would just be my happiest life. I think.
Yeah.
I was like they would take care of us.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, love.
You need good guys in the group.
You do.
Yeah.
And there are some really great guys in this scene.
There are.
I will say,
We talk a lot of shit, but a lot of them are good.
for every one dog shit guy in the Austin comedy scene, there's like 3 really good ones.
I agree. And I've been like trying to make an effort. Like I feel like I swung really hard into just spending time with women for a while.
That's a fortunate thing to happen though, because sometimes that's the hardest thing to break into.
Yeah, I mean, it was like really, I mean, it's been really great for me. And I feel like I grew up very tomboy and one of the boys. And like, I recently came to the realization that I'm a woman and
You woke up
probably
and
have a
you're
lot
like,
in common with other women. So, yeah, no, I mean, it's been beautiful. And I feel like my female friendships are like some of the deepest and most
Yeah.
meaningful ones in my life. But I realized I was starting to kind of hate men. So
Yeah.
I've been making a concerted effort to spend time with the good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It helps. It helps restore the faith. Like when I hang out with like a nice guy or like I see my friends in like a relationship that doesn't suck, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It can happen. It can happen.
But then I get in situations where it's like I'll be talking to like Austin Young or like Britt Reed. I'm like, oh, I hate men, and they're like, you're one of the girls.
Yeah, you're a girl.
You're my girl. What are you saying to me
Yeah.
right now?
Good guys or
Don't
girls.
call it. Like, they're like, I'm a man, and I'm like, don't call yourself that.
Yeah, Connor Nutt sent me and Justina a meme the other day where it was like, he's like, if you're friends with a woman, you either fall in one of 3 categories. And it was like, I forget what the first one was. It was something like guy she doesn't think about at all. It was like guy that she has thought about fucking, but probably doesn't want to do that to herself. And the third, it was like a girl. And he was like,
Yeah.
he's like, I feel like I'm this.
You're on her close friends
Yeah,
list.
yeah. No, that one was just a meme. It was just about if you're just friends with the girl
yeah.
platonically. And he was like, I feel like I fall somewhere between like around number 2. And we were like, no, Connor, you're a girl.
You're a girl.
You're a girl.
You're literally a girl.
And that's the highest compliment you can get from us.
That's so funny. Of course, he wanted
Yeah.
you guys to be like, maybe, but I
Maybe.
shouldn't.
Yeah. We're like, yeah, you're one of the girls. If you're, we did say that. Austin got so offended one time. Quinn was like, yeah, my close friends. I said that. I was like, my close friends is either girls or gays. That's it. That's the only people in my close friends. And then Austin was like, I'm in your close friends, and I was like, girl.
Yeah.
He was like, God damn it.
Girl, stop. You know.
You know this.
Yeah, it's true.
I've been having a hard time calling what I know to be men based on their age and gender. I can't call them men. They're just boys to me.
Well, most of them
Yeah.
act like boys.
Yeah,
That's
that's
part of the
fair.
problem. Yeah.
And we're just hanging out with comics. So
Yeah, they're a bunch of giant boys.
I mean, I've met men. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
there's like
yeah. Oh, yeah.
there's
Oh,
a,
you worked at a ranch. I'm sure you did.
True. True.
yes, also a lot of illegal immigrants.
We
also
did-
men.
Redacted. Everything. A lot of
You guys don't know where I work.
Yeah, we didn't say where the ranch is. Ice.
Hidden Valley.
My favorite kind.
I actually had to sign an NDA. And
That
that's
took me.
not a joke.
That took me too long to realize that was a ranch joke.
Yeah.
I was like, don't say where it is.
You laughed though.
I did. I was like nervous laughter. I was like, oh no, they're gonna get caught.
Yeah.
They're gonna catch it.
They're gonna get the recipe.
Fuck. God. Okay. We should do some cards before we get into the rest of this.
Okay.
I'm embarrassed, so let's move on.
Kylie said, fuck.
Have you heard of this game? It's called Selly Chats.
I have not, and I don't know that I would have said Selly. I would have been like seal chats,
Seal
but
chats.
this is
Seal chats. It's like let's celebrate. It's like a slang for let's
I like
celebrate.
that.
So Selly Chats is basically a conversation card game. So we always talk about it's like helps you just like kind of get deeper with people. This one's definitely more tailored to like the girlies. We have made the guys play it though, and it's still fun. And I think they have like actual dating packs and stuff like that. So if you just want like a reason
cute.
to open up and everything.
Yeah.
Anything? Yeah. I don't know. I feel
So
like
get
that's-
to know card game.
Yeah, get to know card game. Little,
Yeah.
it's fun. It would be fun. Little wine drunken, But yeah, we have them on every week, and we like to do segments with our guests and kind of like get the conversation flowing. We've obviously had no problem with that so far, but
Oh yeah. We went right into it. No context for anybody
yeah.
else.
But if it's fun for you or for anyone else watching and you enjoy it, you can pick up your own pack at letsselly.com and you can use code unhinged to get 20% off of that.
Ooh,
check
love a
it out.
deal.
We love a deal.
Should I?
Yeah. Don't want to do it.
I like this one. What are your favorite ways to practice self-care? So I have like a little bit of a musician background. I took piano lessons
of
when I
many
was
talents.
growing up. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty stuck on sheet music, but I feel like because I have stand up, which is like an art.
I always sound like I'm an artist.
as I do my vagina talking to asshole bit. But yeah, I feel like it's so forward facing, like public facing that I like art forms that are just for me. So like I play piano, I paint. I was painting earlier today. I also love, I have a dog, so we go to Barton Springs and just chill in the sun, and doing good things for my dog is like, I don't know. It's
good
the
for
most
you.
rewarding. Yeah. Cause she just is, it's just pure joy.
Yeah.
Yeah. In cute little petable form. And, I'm trying to think what else I do for self-care. You know,
got a better
sometimes
list than me.
sometimes I wax my chin.
That's self-care.
That fresh chin feeling, there's nothing like it.
It feels amazing. I did it the other day though, and I went out and I was drinking and I realized like you could see the literal like
yeah.
marks of where I had waxed.
Oh,
It
no.
just looked like a chin strap red. Yeah, I was very
I
embarrassed.
feel like we can normalize that though. I've mentioned like having to like do your like I use the little I found this plug. I should get this bitch's sponsor. I be telling everybody about this. They're called their name is terrible. Sorry. It's like Tinkle something, but it's like it's a little razor thing that's supposed to be for your brows, but I found it on like a Reddit that everyone uses it for like their lip.
Mhm.
And it's like it's the best. They're like these, and they're so cute. They come in like all these like little pastels, but like for brows, I'm like it's kind of not that effective because you're not actually pulling the root. So sorry, but they should be advertising it for your lip. But I brought this up or had it with guys, and they like get so weird about it. And I'm like, yeah, we also get hair. Like, what do you? I don't know.
Yeah.
I just feel like if you like mention like, oh yeah, I was waxing my chin, they're like, ugh, and I'm like, okay.
It's like, would you rather I had a beard? Because those are the options.
it's all like, have you seen your balls? Do you think I like seeing that? Like, what
Do you think I like sticking that in my mouth?
Yeah,
No.
full of hair. Like you're not. At least you're not sucking on my chin. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, you guys aren't doing that?
Well,
I've been hearing good things.
Should I
about
try
it.
it? Yeah.
Oh, another self-care thing. I've not been fucking guys.
Yeah, that changes
Quinn's big
the
on that.
game.
Dude, I feel so good.
Yeah.
It changes the game astronomically.
Yeah.
I'm horny as hell, but I feel amazing.
I
Yeah.
took like a huge break, like
Mhm.
fuck, almost like a year, but I didn't feel that long, I guess. But I like the entire time. It makes it once you like cross this threshold of like not doing like the casual stuff. It makes
Yeah.
it like it's one of those things that crosses your mind because it's like
Yeah.
available, but then it feels so good to not.
Yes.
Yeah. I like forgot how it's like it was. I don't know. I've never taken that long of a break it's been a long time since I have. It's been like, I go like 2 months and that's like the longest break I'll take. And then I'm like, I gotta fuck something. But it's like, I was also.
I know you a freak like that.
Yeah. But we'd always be like, come in here though. And then I'd be like, I hate myself. Like, you know what I mean? It's like in the moment you're just like, yeah. And I like forgot until now, like being like, oh, this is so much better when I'm like, having sex with the same person and they like don't make me want to hate myself. Like I was like waiting for that. Now it's like, actually, I'm even like, I can go longer without, I mean, obviously I'm like dating, so I'm in a relationship, so I'm not like going a long time, but it's like, I used to be like, also feel this pressure like when I was in bad relationships where it's like, if we didn't fuck every day, I was like, they hate me. Like I was kind of like
or it'll
trained that
fix
way.
like whatever is not getting communicated.
And now I'm like, there's days where I'm just like, yeah, I'm fine with us just like being on the couch because I like know that I'm not like, could be the last time I have sex. Like, it's like I know we can have
because you
sex
feel
tomorrow.
secure.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like, that's a fucking huge progress for me to feel that way. But I'm like, wow, like it just makes it more like I wish I could go back and like put like because you like know that consciously like when you have these conversations, but I'm like I wish I could go put that literal feeling into my like slut brain.
Yeah.
And be
Yeah.
like,
Your
hey, girl,
younger self. Yeah.
don't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Like and save her. But
I don't know that we'd learn the lesson unless we did it though. So
yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. I like to learn lessons at least 17 times before I get it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
like a professional at learning lessons. You 10,000 hours in.
That's me. There was like this TikTok that everyone sent me, and it was like hurting my feelings. But it was like this girl that was just like, I'm done with this man. I tell you what, I give you 8,000 chances, and then I'm done. 8,000. That's all you get, and then I'm fucking done. I was like, okay, too many people are sending me this.
That's funny for multiple people to separately be like, that is so Kylie.
Oh, it's like getting a little mortifying. Like my boyfriend has met like a lot of people now because we've like we went back to like a couple different places I grew up now, and all of them have been like, wow, this is so great for her. Like this is, oh my God, like we're so happy to just see her not with a fucking idiot. Like all this stuff, and he's like, I'm starting to feel bad about like me. Like he's like, if this is like your trend.
He's like, am I in a bad club?
Like, the one day he's like, I mean this as nice as possible. He was like, what am I missing? Like what's wrong with you? And I was like, oh, so much, so much.
It's like, at least this is coming from my experience. It was coming from a place of insecurity. And
for sure, it was.
And I felt the need to be shown love. Like, and that was.
Oh yeah,
it was just sex, but it
feels like affection.
Yes,
Yeah.
Especially because like for me, it's like I've been in a relationship. I was in a relationship for like 5 years and was like fully in love. So I was used to that intimacy, like meaning something. And then like it was like you get in these situationships or like casual things where you are so programmed to think that that is something that means more.
Yeah.
Or it was like it's a higher intimacy than it is, but it's not. And then it kind of I noticed that it was changing because I'm very avoidant. We talk about it on the podcast all the time. Very avoidant style. attachment, but I was like, oh, I've done that to myself.
Yeah.
And it's like something I want to work on, and I don't want to be as because I wasn't always so avoidant. It was probably in the last year and a half I've become like indisputably avoidant. And I definitely want to work on that, but I know that comes with not being intimate very early.
Yeah.
Or like
Yeah.
just locking myself away and saying bad man, bad man, bad man, and never having sex ever again.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's tough. I feel like it's also this weird thing where like you have to work back through like being like, when you've had these bad experiences, it's so easy to be like, men suck. But I'm experiencing that come up so much where I'm like, okay, I have to give like some of them a chance to not do that again. But like your brain is just like, this happened to me before, and like you're gonna do it again. And it's hard to like break out of that. And I feel like that's what makes a lot of people become avoidant. Something happened to them that then you're like, oh, well, I don't want to go through that. It's a protective mechanism.
I don't want to be annoying like I was that one time, and it was just somebody that couldn't similar to someone that couldn't just vocalize that they didn't feel that way about me, but they liked the attention I was giving them.
Yeah.
A lot of people just like that you like them.
Yeah.
And I think we've all also done it on both ends,
for sure.
But, it got to the point where like now I'm just like, oh well, no one actually likes me the way I like them, even if they're like sitting there like saying they do. Like, so I gotta work through that.
Like you just can't trust that what they're saying is
Situationships are crazy too, because I was actually just watching something about this, and I think I talk about it. It's like you don't even like them anymore. It's a dopamine thing.
Yes.
Like, and you get
it's
addicted
like a drug.
to that. Yeah, you get addicted to that like uncertainty, and like you're constantly like, are they gonna pick me? Are they gonna pick me? And then it's like you get high off of when it feels like they're picking you, and then you're like waiting for that feeling again. And like, you don't even like them anymore. Like by the end of like, I was in the fucking shit show of a situationship most of last year. By the end of it, I was like, I don't even think I like this person. Like, I just want them to like me. Yeah, like it's fucked up. Have you had a lot of those in Austin yet? We're kind of famous here.
No, I mean, I just dated comics, which is not better.
It happens.
Which I'm glad that I feel like I've finally like. So I've now dated 3 comics over the course of my 5-year career. Yeah. And I'm officially off the sauce. I just like can't do it. Yeah. It just is like too much at risk, you know? Because it's like, don't shit where you eat is great advice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then kind of since then, it's like, I'm not really meeting people. I went on, that's why I downloaded the apps, because I was like, I just need to meet someone who's not a comedian.
Yeah. And it's tough when that's all you're doing.
Yes. And it's like I'm out every night telling jokes that, and you know, guys like that go up, they'll have women approach them after their sets that like
that doesn't
just
happen
doesn't happen.
Yeah, Heather Keith was talking about this with us. She was like, and if they do, it's weird. Like,
yes.
What was it? Like Heather told this story about, she's like, this guy came up to her and was like, said something along the lines of just being like, it was nice that he felt like she would, like, her self-deprecating jokes made him realize she hated herself enough that she would fuck him. And she was like, that's not what I was trying to do.
Oh, dude, I had a joke about a yeast infection, and a guy came up to me, 55-year-old man came up to me afterwards and was like, I'd be happy to give you your next yeast infection.
Oh my God.
It's like, that is not the pickup line you think it is.
Oh my God.
When I was working, I was like doing green room door, and this guy comes up to me, he goes, so everybody in here is a comedian? I go, yeah. Or that works here. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, even the ladies? And I go, yeah, sometimes Red Band lets us out of the kitchen if we did good enough and lets tell us a couple jokes. But I'm just like, they say crazy shit.
They do. Yeah, you don't want the guys that are hitting on you from a show. That's
no. So, I've gone on a couple Hinge dates, and this is funny. I've gone on 3 Hinge dates now. 2 out of those 3 told me I was the best date they've been on in months, and it's like, duh.
Yeah, obviously.
They were average as hell. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Just like kind of nice. Yeah. You know, like that was the vibe that I got from them.
That was pleasant.
Yes, yeah. Not enough for a second date. And then the third guy showed up really, really strange, like neurotic energy. And I immediately was like turned off, but I was like,
you're like, is he just
we
nervous?
Just met. Yeah. So like we sat down and he's like, sorry, this is the first date I've been on in a while. Like I stopped at a gas station to get a buzz ball before this. And I was like, oh, why haven't you been dating? And he was like, oh, because my girlfriend died.
Oh.
And this is the first date since.
Yeah.
So then I was like, okay, I'm locked in for at least another 30 minutes.
Yeah, you're like, I can't.
You can't leave right then. Yeah.
You can't ghost him twice.
No, I know. I did, though. I felt proud of myself for doing this. At the end of the day, I was like, I just didn't really feel like there was much of a connection. And I wish
tell you how long ago she had died?
Yeah, so we went on this date like 2 weeks ago and she died in September.
Oh, yeah, he probably needs more time.
Yeah, and I was like, "Do you feel like you're ready to be dating?" And he was like, "I don't know. Everybody says I got to get back out there." And I was
in his
like,
defense, he doesn't know that till he tries either. So you probably served a good purpose for him at least.
I guess.
Yeah, that's tough.
I was trying to be kind, but like also I just I needed that interaction
like
to end.
that's tough. Like I feel like already there's a little bit of like, oh, like am I gonna be able to compete with an ex thing that you like subconsciously feel? And I was like, how do you compete with a dead girl? That's tough.
Yeah. You literally can't.
Yeah, it's tough.
A literal angel.
A literal angel. Yeah. You're like, and you can't talk shit about her. Like, you can't that's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, I honestly feel like even if regardless of that situation, upon meeting him, I did not feel it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about apps that sucks is like when you meet someone in person, you know immediately if you're attracted to them.
Yeah.
But through a screen, there's like,
I get so scared when I meet someone and I'm too infatuated. This only happened to me once, and we talk about it all the time. He's the Chucky doll. And I like I like to meet immediately, and I was like, fuck, because it's I didn't.
If I like you that fast, it's actually not like that's
actually a horrible, terrible thing.
It's a red flag.
I have a 50 shout out. His name is I'm friends with this guy in Nashville, and he's like my little enigma of a friend. Like he's 50 years old. He was a magician in New Orleans for a long time. Now he just like writes books in a coffee shop for fun. Like,
I'm in.
He's the best. His name's D'Artagnan.
Ooh.
He's incredible. Like, and I always try to go see. I like met him because I used to work remote, and we just like hung out at this coffee shop. And now he's like one of my like very good friends. Like I always see him when I come back. He comes to my shows. He actually was one of the first people like pushing me to do stand up and stuff. Like, shout out D'Artagnan. He actually like was huge on this podcast. Like he like posted on his Instagram when I started my podcast like a screen cap of the YouTube. It was like, look at our girl, like sweetheart. But we were having this conversation, and I introduced him to my boyfriend while we were there. And we were talking about, we always joke, like when I first met my boyfriend, I did not. I guess you already name dropped him. I can just say it, but who cares? But we usually keep names off, and then she just draws. She's like, "Well, you're dating this one." But I was like, when I first met Peter, I like did not like him. Like I was like, meh, don't like his vibe. Like, but not like in a bad way. I was just like, meh. And then like we were kind of in the same friend group. But, like I was talking about that, and he said that like as an old guy. Like he was like, I dated a lot. He's like, honestly, like he's like, I think that's good. Like that you didn't like him right away, and like you had to like
my mom turned
get
my
to
dad
know each
down
other and
3
grow.
times.
Yeah, and I've talked.
My
my
mom
friend
did the same.
Kara,
That's so funny.
My friend Kara has been in a relationship for like almost 6 years now. Like they're probably about to get engaged, and he asked her out like 10 times, like not in a creepy way. They like worked together and stuff, and she was just like. She's like, he was so patient and polite, and he would just be like, "You ready to go out with me yet?" And she was like, "I just don't see it." And he was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
And then like he would wait a couple months, and he'd be like, "Now?" And she was like, "No."
Yeah.
Like, and now like they literally have been living together for like half a decade.
Yeah, I think like I feel like when you're immediately attracted to somebody, it's usually because of some wound that you have.
Or if immediately romanticized them.
Yes,
Yeah.
like a fake version
Or they're
that
love
doesn't
bombing
exist.
you.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like one of
also.
those things. Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, it's because it's usually like that's like a lust feeling, you know. It's like there's obviously people that right away I'm like, ooh, this vibe, it's flirty or whatever, and like that's normal. I think it's like you can meet somebody have like an attraction right away.
Lust
but if it's
really
like
beats your ass in your 20s.
Yeah,
is what I've learned, which is why I
it's
had
still
to like
beating my
cut
ass into my
myself
30s.
off.
Yeah.
Because it was like the lust that I was like after that wasn't because I was in love at one point. Then I was like immediately didn't. But I met him when I was 19. So and then we were together until we were 24. But like the lust in Austin, because like people would put their whole pussy into it. Like people are like really down to like love bomb. I think intrinsically people don't want to be alone. People want that connection.
Yeah.
But I think the commitment scares them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like lust feels like no commitment, but I think it's the biggest commitment.
Yeah. It gets you into bad situations.
It is.
Yeah.
Have you do you know that feeling of like, I guess you do with Peter. So like when it flipped all of a sudden, like where you were like, oh, I am attracted to this person.
Yeah.
How did that change how you behaved towards them?
I feel like it was just like actually this is funny because we were talking about this all the time because we have actually like together stopped doing afters. I'm a recovered afters attender. I'm pretty proud of myself about it.
I'm like entering my afters phase.
Yeah. You know I'm okay to dip back into it, but I was aftering hard too many
They're
times.
at my house, so
yeah.
I literally don't know
that's
what you're
happened to
talking
me.
about.
Like,
what is an afters?
Like when the bars close and everyone keeps hanging out till 5 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
Clearly have not been in the service industry like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is big in the service industry but I was doing like that 4 nights a week and I was losing my fucking mind. And so, but we like actually were just hanging because we've had like a mutual friends. And so we'd be around and we were just like sitting somewhere once and we started talking about something and it was like, I don't know. We like just had like I just thought it was like somebody that I was like I probably have nothing in common with this person. Like it was just kind of his vibe was kind of what I picked up. And then we sat and talked about some like weird stuff that had to do with like our family and just like both of our like because like, he owns a business, I used to own a business, and we like kind of just started talking about all this. And I was like, it was just like this feeling of like, oh, you're a person, which sounds fucked up, but I was kind of just like he was just like somebody who was like there.
A coworker.
Yeah, and he like said that to me. He's like had no idea that we were like had this much stuff that we would ever talk about, and we like ended up talking for a long time. And even then, it wasn't like this flip of like, oh, I'm attracted. It was just kind of like, there was like an opening there. And then I don't really know what happened. I just feel like that like opened. We were like talking more like that when we were out. And then like one night I just like didn't want to drive my car home because I was drunk. And I was like, I'm just going to stay here. And he was like, okay, do I need to sleep on my couch? So that was polite. And I was like, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
And then we just like talked for a lot longer. And then I was like, we should fuck. Like, we tell that story very differently because I was like, he's always like, he's like, you stayed there to sleep with me. And I was like, I did. And actually, I didn't want to drink and drive, which is the truth. Like,
I was just being a responsible adult.
Which I didn't. It really wasn't premeditated. Like I remember like laying there talking in the bed and I was just like, the vibe of that is like, we're probably going to fuck. You know what I mean? But I was just like, do I want to? I don't know. And then it was like happening. I was like, yeah, okay, I kind of want to do this. And now
and you'd built up the trust at that point.
Yeah.
To know that that's like, you don't know everything about him, but like he's a generally good guy.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And now I've fucking with him all the time since then. So that's how that happened.
Amazing.
So sometimes you can fuck before the first date.
Yeah.
But yeah. And it was that also helped. It was like immediately, that was also like the other sign. It was like right after that, then like we hung out again. Like he hit me up and then it was like we hooked up twice. And then from there he was like, okay, I want to take you on a date. Like it wasn't this like long drawn out, like, oh, are we just fucking thing? Which happened is what most of my stuff has been.
Yeah.
Where you start sleeping with someone consistently and then you're like, okay, is this going to be a thing? But that's all you're doing.
Yeah.
It was like pretty immediate where he was like, I want to take you out. Like, let's like, so that was a nice change.
I
too.
love intention.
Same, dude. Somebody just like making a plan is so hot. Because nobody be doing that. That's Justine's thing. I was like so great. I pitched her at that Pitch a Friend event, and her like I got this big laugh because one of her things was like what she's looking for, and it was like make a reservation, ask questions, and like all these guys were like, that's pretty like straight, like pretty basic, and I was like, you'd be surprised.
But you guys don't do it.
You don't do it. Like they don't do it to each other either. I just saw this TikTok about that where there was like this girl that was trying to ask her guy friend like what happened. Like he was like, oh yeah, my best friend's going through a divorce. And she's like, oh my God, what happened? And he was like, I don't know. She's like, what do you mean? And he's like, I think there was like some cheating or something. She's like, who cheated on who? And he's like, I don't know. And she's like, you guys golfed for 4 hours and he told you he's getting a divorce and you know nothing about it.
Yeah.
Yes, I feel like it's not true. Because here's the thing, my dad calls me his favorite son. So sometimes he like gives me a lot more like the way guys actually talk. I think it's just like men know their wives talk. So it's like I think men are talking about those things, or it's like in little spurts where it's like.
So they really don't just want to. They just don't want to ask us. That really
I'm
is.
convinced
They don't want to spill the tea until they know everything is confirmed and done.
I'm convinced that they have these conversations when they start talking about sports, and we just have no idea because we've tuned out.
That
like
makes
that's
sense.
Yeah, that's my theory.
I will say I found out from many men they do not, because they're all stunned by it. They do not talk about sex the way women do. That's why like Sex in the City was mind blowing to people as like a concept, and like whenever men find out that's like really how we all talk.
Yeah.
It's like it's blown every boyfriend male friend I've had's mind. Like I was like, I've always said that. Like I will never forget in college I had this situation. They were just like, you guys are so graphic about this. Like, and I was just like, yeah, like what do you mean? Like if my friend has had sex with you, I know the shape of your dick. Like, and they're like, like I know everything about it. I know what sound you made when you came. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's how women are. And it's just like, we don't even think about it. And the guy, I was like, don't you guys do that? You guys are gross. And he's like, our extent is we're like, did you hit that? And they're like, yeah. And we're like, cool. If there's a follow-up question, it's like, good boobs? Question mark.
Yeah.
Like, it's about,
like, so what? You want to fuck her or something too, dude?
Yeah.
Actually, I read, and this is just a theory because how could you know? But they have theorized that women gossip like that for protection. It's like so that we have the information about other men in the area, so that we can keep ourselves safe if they're creepy or
I'm just a little stinker. I just love
a story.
I love a story. I love to be like, girl.
Yeah. My favorite 2 sentences start with girl or can I be a bitch for a second?
I know. Can I be mean for a second?
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Then it's you're like, sit
You know
down.
it's gonna be good. Yeah.
Sit
Can I get
down.
popcorn first?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. She made this thing. We were having this night the other, like a couple weeks ago. She put it on Instagram, and I was literally like, I was like, Quinn, I just need to be a bitch for a second. She was like, huh.
You asked
Yeah.
if you could be.
She's like, never ask me that. The answer is
Or like,
always
if
yes.
we're like a safe space of like girls, it's not you're not going out of your way to just be mean to that
Yeah,
person.
yeah.
And the thing is, it wasn't even mean.
I've
so.
never, yeah, it's usually not even that mean. It's just like a girl saying, can I be a bitch for a second? It's like, I just want to express my feelings about something real
Yeah.
quick. Like,
But we've
yeah.
been labeled as bitches for having them.
Can I be
Yeah.
like a male CEO for a second?
Yeah.
No, literally. I saw this hot take the other day about, you guys seen Devil Wears Prada?
Yeah.
Of course.
There was this, like, it wasn't even a hot take. Like, she says it in the movie, which is one of my favorite things, where she was like, yeah, Miranda is tough, but like, if she were a man, no one would say anything except for how good she is at her job.
100%.
Like, that's like that character in it the whole time. It's like, she's this evil fucking bitch. And I was like, if she was a man, that would just be like, he's just the boss.
yeah.
And I was like, them having Anne Hathaway say that, and I was like, that was peak cinema.
It's
Yeah.
peak cinema, peak feminism.
Peak feminism. True. Fuck
Absolute.
the patriarchy, you know?
Oh.
Oh, I bet that's your car.
There's a baby in a hot car outside.
Yeah, the spots are labeled.
Oh my god. The reason why, well, one of the reasons why I don't think I'd be a good mom is because I would 100% cook a baby. Like, I just, I'm
Yeah,
so
I just
forgetful,
forget.
dude.
Dude, I know.
I leave my Stanley cup in my car overnight all the time.
Well, one of my favorite TV shows, there's like this scene where like and people are always like, this is so unrealistic. Who just forgets? I was like, this happens. Like he like went in just to the liquor store to like grab something, and then he got distracted on a phone call and stuff, and he just like left the baby in the car real quick because it was like right outside, and then like it was a really hot day, and so someone saw it, and like the police like broke in and got the baby out and all this stuff, and they're like, that was so dramatic, and I'm like, no, like that would happen to me. Like I would just be like at the ATM right there with or I was watching an SVU episode, and the girl like just goes up to the ATM and she's like, I'm not gonna get my sleeping baby out of the car to like get this money out, and someone stole her car with the baby in it. Like, and I was like, that is like all that shit. I was like, that would happen to me though. 'Cause I
Yeah.
would just be like, you know, like I forget about. My mom always said I would lose my own head if it wasn't attached. That's something she used to always say to me.
Yeah.
I lose everything. You know, I can't keep track of my fucking phone or vape to save my life, let alone
Yeah.
a person.
How many times have you lost your phone in the last year?
Okay, like lost it only once, but
it was stolen.
it's been stolen once, and I lost it once. But I've left it places and not been able to get it back till the next day at least 10 times.
Oh my god.
And my wallet's been stolen, and then I lost my wallet.
Okay, you need to get these chains off this boot and put them on
Dude,
your
I
hip.
know. No, Peter's like, I'm
Get
gonna.
some Jenko jeans.
Peter's
and
like,
some
I'm gonna
pockets.
AirTag everything I own. He's like, I'm gonna AirTag your fucking vape. I'm gonna AirTag your water bottle. Like I was like, you need to AirTag me. I think.
Yeah,
Like,
I'd swallow an Apple AirTag, so my friends always know where I'm at.
perfect.
I have locked myself out of my house so many times.
Yeah.
And I've done some like real MacGyver shit to get back in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it the hot baby? Yeah. Well, not the baby isn't hot. It's in a hot car.
That was a sexy baby out there. It was the ugly baby. It was the.
Dude, you know how babies look at people longer if they think they're attractive?
Really?
Really?
I met my friend's baby the other
Oh,
day,
now I'm gonna be so
and their baby
overthinking
could
this.
not take their eyes off of me, and I was like, "Oh my god, stop, baby!
I know,
oh my god,
but-
stop!"
Okay, I'm gonna take it so personally now when these babies are looking
Don't
away
look
from
at
me.
yeah.
When the baby just looks at you and goes,
literally.
getting side-eyed by a baby, like I won't punch it, is crazy.
Nah, dude, babies look at me and they drool.
The next baby I see is gonna be my nephew, so I probably don't like really want that to be the thing. So.
That's fair. That's fair.
I was just thinking, when am I gonna see a baby next? I was like, my nephew.
Yeah, just forget about all that.
Yeah, now I'm gonna be like having to think about if my nephew thinks I'm attractive or not. I hate you for this. He's gonna look away from me, and I'm like, fuck, and then I'm like, I mean, good. God damn it. Look at me. Yeah. But then I'm gonna be like, fuck, that's incest. I just start wearing like crazy shit on my head, so babies are like looking at me. I'm like, it's because I'm pretty.
Yeah.
It's nothing to do with the fact that I've worn glitter eyeshadow every day for the last 11
There's like
years.
a pinwheel on my head. I'm so cute.
You still are a pacifier.
Yeah, ooh, got your nose.
He can't take his eyes off me. That's so fucked up.
It's pretty fucked up.
I like it.
Yeah.
What other questions do you have for? We got like 10-ish minutes left, I think.
Let me think.
This flew by.
It's the fun. I was like, thinking
It's
about
really
that.
fun hanging with you guys.
It is fun.
Sorry, we all just a bunch of girls. Sorry, we're just friends.
I know someone said to us once, I think someone told Quinn that they're like watching your podcast just feels like we're like sitting across from you at brunch, and that was my favorite compliment we've ever
Yeah.
gotten.
Sex in the City, baby.
Yeah, that's it. That's what Peter was saying. That he was like when he's listened to us three talk. He said when he sat down, he sits down with like. He hasn't, I think, been... Well, yeah, he has. It was that night when we all had our show. But he was like, he sits down with me, Justine, Quinn, and, like, Lindsay. Like, the four of you, like, are just, like, He's like, it's so fucking chaotic. Like, it's like just the way our conversation
What do you think your red flag is?
Ooh.
like my personal one,
Like
Yeah.
about
that I
yourself.
put out.
Yeah, I love this question.
Oh man.
Ask men this, by the way. It'll tell you a lot.
Mine's like fat, juicy ass, rockin' set of tits.
Then she whispers, avoidant.
That sounds like
And I'm so avoidant, but
your answer to like the what's your biggest weakness in a job interview.
yeah.
Exactly.
This is like juicy,
She's like
natural.
such a big ass. And
Sometimes my tits are so big they just get in the way.
yeah. It's just so hard to do my job.
I can't move my arms.
I don't know. I feel like I when I do fall for somebody, it's immediate and really hard and could come across as love bombing, but I feel like
I
I'm
feel that.
capable of like actually keeping it up, but that comes across as a red flag.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
I
just like
get that.
I'm a very caring partner.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I've been so disappointed by men. But
Yeah.
there's that, and then I get probably that I'm a stand-up comic.
That's
I
all
feel like we don't have to
automatic
count
response.
that. Everyone
Yeah.
always is stand-up comic. You don't.
We already know that.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
You don't have to
But-
count
but
it.
fair.
Fair. And I don't know. I'm kind of a hypocrite.
In what way?
Like, I feel like I recently had the experience of living with a man. Like when I moved out here, I moved in with my boyfriend at the time,
Yeah.
and like living with somebody, I feel like I'm such a. It has to be fucking spotless. I don't know why. It's just like other people's mess
Yeah.
is like so annoying. But my place right now is a disaster, and I'm like existing totally fine in it.
It's like a control thing, maybe. Like
Perhaps I think I
Yeah.
am a little.
it is different when it's someone else's shit. I'm kind of like that too, though. It's like I'm not a neat freak by any means, but it's like for some reason I feel like you can like my shit can be everywhere, and if someone else's shit is especially in like your shared space, you're kind of just like, bah. But I think it's because you don't have the like I guess authority of like when that gets cleaned. Maybe
I think if it's a
Yeah.
mess I wouldn't make. Like for me, I
Yeah.
can't deal with dirty dishes. I can't.
Uh-huh.
If you just ate or like people like they'll eat and they'll leave a plate on the countertop.
I'm bad about that.
And I can't do that.
Yeah.
That, like, because I grew up
That's my
with
red
my
flag.
mom. My mom would hit me like buckle side up on a belt if I just left
Yeah.
my plate on the
So
table.
yours is stemming from trauma.
Yeah.
I think I have the reverse of that. as
And
my
bugs.
mom.
The bugs are so bad in
Yes.
Texas that like when I
Oh,
first
yeah.
moved in by
The gnats.
myself, I could do that. Sometimes I would like, or I'd leave a pot. I
The
just
fruit
made like
flies be in
macaroni.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's like bugs immediately. So it's like
Yeah.
now it like makes my skin crawl a bit.
I
Yeah.
think I got messier because of that, like in the opposite ways. Like my grandparents raised me, and my grandma was like clean freak. She's like the kind of person it's like it can't look like anyone lives in this
Yeah.
house kind of house.
That's how my
And so
man
it made
was.
me like I was like oh like cleaning was such a thing there that it made me be like I was like I just want the freedom of like being like I can fucking leave it and get it later because
Yeah.
I did not have that then. So I feel like I have that, but sometimes it like gets there. It's why Justine's the most best roommate I've ever had because like we balance each other out. We're both like clean but not overly like freak about it. But it's like there's not like that awkward passive aggressiveness. Like I had like a roommate one time that we had to like just do that whole like hey like or like
Chores
we
wheel.
my one roommate was so bad in college. We piled all the dirty dishes in front of her bedroom door one time because she was just like not getting it.
Yeah.
And like Justine will just look at me and be like, "This is getting a little crazy," and I'm like, "Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right. My bad."
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
like, it's
I
like
would
I just
just-
need someone that's just gonna say it. Like it's
Yeah.
like, and then
I had
you're
a roommate,
fine. You
I would
don't
just
fight.
have to throw my dishes away
Ugh, they
because they
were
would be
bad.
like because they'd be like covered in mold.
Uh,
And I was like, I'm not washing it. I'm just throwing
no.
it away.
My weird nitpicky thing is I can't stand when stuff has been like when stuff's not getting thrown out of the fridge.
yeah.
Because my
that
parents
too.
also have that. Like they would kill me about this, but hopefully they don't listen. But I'm like my grandparents like they have stuff in there. Like you could pull any condiment out of there and it might be from the 70s. Like
Yeah.
it's like I'm like why?
you
What
said
the
condiment.
Fuck? Yeah. Those are in a different
It's
drawer.
like I save them.
After they're used, I keep them.
I
in
was
the
Yeah.
cupboard.
I was ironically because I was committed to the bit and realized how gross it is, but I had this condom in my purse and like I'm not great about it. So they were in there. It was in there, and I just like left it to be like in case I need it. But it was in there so long not being used because I was not using it, or they had their own. And it was like this crumpled condom that I looked at it. And did you know condoms expire?
They
'Cause
do
do.
expire.
It was
yeah.
expired like a year and a half, and it's just like like half ripped. And I was just leaving it there because just I was like, she's like, why do you have that? And I was
Yeah.
like, because how funny it would be if I go home with a guy and I'm like, I got this.
It's just a shred of
and she was
plastic.
like, she's like, they're not gonna think that's funny. And I was like, but I am.
You take it out, it's already open and stretched out.
Yeah.
I got this.
It's like
Hey,
the thing you
someone came prepared.
you told that joke that one time about when you were like telling your bad habit is like just telling jokes in intimate moments. Like
Oh,
that's me. I'm like
I
they
love
don't like it, but
it.
I'm like this is
It's
fun.
so fun.
This is fun.
My intimacy, I've got intimacy issues and avoidant attachment issues and this whole fucking thing. But it'll be like one of those things where it's like, if a guy's going down on me or something, and I'm just like, it's not that I don't like that. It's just, like,
you have a joke about it.
I watch too many comics. Like, I think the other thing is like watching dudes talk about sex on stage has ruined sex for me because like
Yeah.
That's like
I
my
hear all
friend's
their
a stripper.
jokes.
It's ruined sex for her.
Yeah, well, they're like, I hear guys being like, make like jokes about how annoying it is to put like things like that.
Yeah.
That like I'll just start like making jokes, and then like this one of the guys I talked to was like, we can just like, he's like, I like doing.
We could just have sex.
He's like, he's
You don't
like,
have to talk.
You
he's
don't
like,
have to
I like
entertain.
doing this. You don't
Yeah.
have to like riff. And I was like,
It's like, but that is my love language.
yeah, riffing.
It is.
Yeah.
That is it.
Riffing while we're both butt ass naked and your butt is in the air.
I mean, being naked together is so funny.
One time
It's
I was
so crazy.
It's insane.
one time I was writing a guy and I was like, how crazy would it be if I just died right now?
If I'm like,
what?
He's like, are you
sometimes I'm,
feeling okay?
when I'm like naked next to a guy and like it's like the aftercare or whatever, we're both naked and I'm just like, I see why Eve ate the apple because I don't want to feel his flaccid wiener.
Yeah, it's like once they're all like
on
hunched
my
over.
thigh?
They're all
Yeah.
they're all
feels
they're all-
soft penis.
They're all
It
hunched
It feels like when
over.
you actually sit on one of those sticky hands.
and they're all like fetalized, like and like relaxed, and you're like, ooh, you were just so hot like 5 minutes ago.
I
You're
know.
like, what did I do?
It looks like Voldemort when he like.
Wait, he's like reborn.
I hate it. I hate it. Put your drawers on.
It's because we stole their mojo.
Yeah.
Put your drawers on.
Well, I couldn't. I was just thinking about if you died, like, in that, like, that's where my brain goes. I'm literally getting railed, and I'm like, you know, it'd be crazy. But I was like, if you die, I was like, that situation would be so hard to explain. Like, first of all, you have to like move my dead body.
There's a
off
movie
of
about
you.
it.
Yeah, and then they have to call the cops. I was like, you're gonna look so guilty. Like,
Yeah.
And then he was like, I don't want to think about this right now.
Just be like, what if I died right now? And him being, that's not funny. I just go. Just kidding. Just kidding.
And this is why I was single for a long time. And
One time so I did grow up having seizures, but I haven't had them in a long time. And there's this guy who just like didn't really want to be hooking up with him anymore. Like I was not feeling it.
Oh my God.
There's nothing he did wrong. I just realized I was not like attracted to him. So I faked a seizure in the middle of sex.
Did he think it was an orgasm?
No, he didn't. He got scared. He got really scared.
Yeah.
oh no.
Which
Oh.
gave me the ick worse. I'm like, you gave me the ick so bad I faked a seizure. Don't cry.
Oh no.
Can I share something? I had sex with a guy whose dick was so big once that it was like hurting me,
Yeah.
and I was a teenager. I didn't know how to get out of this situation. So what I told him was like I needed to stop, and he was like, "Why?" And I was like, "Because I have been sexually assaulted, and I need this." And it's not your fault, and I know that's not what you're doing, but that I'm having flashbacks.
What did he do?
Oh, he was so sweet,
I'll
and I
say,
felt really bad. It's like clearly not the way to deal with that, and it's why
Did you get
women
assaulted
get
since
told
then?
that they're liars and
I was
shit.
like, was that karma? Had you been assaulted yet at that point?
No, not at that point. And then yes, and
Then you were like,
But you're a pretty girl. That's
Karma.
gonna call.
yeah. Later you were
Caught up.
I can't not think about that.
yeah.
That sucks. That sucks.
That
That was fucked up.
Yeah, that is fucked up, and it wasn't really
That was
joking
fucked up.
during
I
sex.
just
So I
love
was
how you could have just been it like
You could. A man would love to hear
I
that.
could
You're
just
like,
say it
oh, it's
hurt.
too.
Yeah.
You could have just been like, they're too big,
your
and he would have.
dick's
He
too
would have
big.
told everyone.
literally
Yeah.
second guy I'd ever had sex with, and that's what I
and you
went with.
can't and because the thing is well I don't know like maybe I've been assaulted but like if you tell a guy like oh your dick's too big like this like hurts like me in this like position they like think that's like dirty talk
Yeah.
and then they like do it more
There you go.
and I'm
Oh
like,
yeah, does this hurt?
yes it
Yes.
does I like
That's so real. Well, on that note, you know what else hurts? Having to end this podcast.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna miss you, gals.
This is worse than the biggest dick I've ever taken, having to say goodbye, you know? Fuck. No, this was a lot of fun. Do you have anything you want to plug? Anything coming up?
Oh yes, and I actually feel like maybe your audience would be into this. I've been running a show at East Austin every other Tuesday called Lip Service, and it's an advice comedy show,
love.
which I'm like you guys will absolutely be on soon.
Love.
But this is our second one is on this upcoming Tuesday, June 3rd. I don't know when this comes out.
This
What's the
should
next
be
one?
out.
The next one after that will be what's plus 14. the 17th. Yeah.
This will be out a week from today, so it'll probably be for that one. You plug that one.
Okay.
17th.
Yeah, June 17th, lip service, East Austin Comedy Club, 7 p.m. It's a Tuesday. You write down your drama relationship questions, and then
Like the audience does.
yeah, the audience writes them
Fun.
down, and then the comics pull it out, and we riff on it. So
East Austin is a fun little room for that too. It's like a good intimate room for that.
yeah, it's first show was amazing. There was only 20 people there, and it was like a fucking crusher.
Okay. There's a lot in that room.
Yeah.
What's crazy is I dead ass was stalking that show page last night because I was trying to figure out who runs it, who books this. But I was like, this looks really fun. I was like watching the stuff from it, and I was like, I actually want to find out who runs this just because I was like, it looks really fun to do.
Hey, that's just
and,
me.
and then here you are. My God, here
Just
you
my
are.
Zin's covered in lipstick. That's so
I literally like. I've been dying. I just every time you take a drink of this, just empties it. Quinn swallowed a Zin last night.
this morning before
this
you
morning.
picked me up.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
And I texted my roommate.
that's like our generation's version of swallowing gum.
Right?
I know. I texted
7
my-
years to be in
I
there for
texted my
7
roommate, I
years.
said,
Yeah.
have you ever swallowed a Zin? And he said, probably in my sleep, not the end of the world. And all I said was, oh God, oh God.
Who's sleeping with Zins?
Guess he does. They apparently think your dream's weird.
Ah.
Well.
Yeah.
More you know.
Well, that's fun. Check out that show, Lip
Yeah,
Service.
Lip
East Austin
Service.
Comedy.
You can follow
Every
it.
other Tuesday.
Yeah, every other
Okay.
Tuesday, Lip Service Comedy on Instagram, and then I'm on Instagram, Kylie Troop. Everyone was going with and I was like, I bet there's other Kylie Troops out there.
I don't know if
It's
I'm
one of
the-
them.
I'm just one of
I don't
them.
know if I'm the
Yeah.
Kylie Troop.
Yeah.
That's fun. Yeah. I love obviously great name. I knew you were gonna be cool. Big
Yeah.
name.
Yeah.
Losers Kylie, except Kylie Jenner. Actually, people tend to like her the most
I
out
like
of the
her.
rest of them. So
Out of 'em.
I take that
Her and
back,
Chloe
Kylie
are my
Jenner.
favorite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, Kylie. I take that back. Well, I think I hate her by proxy because do you have that on when I say my name's Kylie? They're like the Jenner.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bitch, I was born before her.
I know. I think I'm named after Kylie Minogue, honestly.
That tracks. Yeah. I'm named because a nurse told my mom she liked the name Kylie, and like a nurse while I was in the hospital. My mom was like, "Sure." So a random lady named me.
My mom was working at TJ Maxx, and some woman was yelling at her child, Kylie! And my mom was like, that sounds beautiful.
I really like the way that yells.
Yeah.
You know, that's good. Good. Well,
Cool.
thank you so much, Kylie. You're a
Yeah.
treat. If you guys have the chance to see Kylie do stand up herself in Austin, please come out and check her
Come
out. Follow her on
out.
Instagram. She's very funny. One of my favorite people in town.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a great day. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.